Hey everybody, and welcome to For the Shoe Friday number 3. Yeah, after we took a week off, we're back at it again, and we're here to talk nothing but Colts all day, all pod long. I'm your host on the channel, Curtis Brown. I'm also a Texans fan, so I'll try to be unbiased here. But with me, as always, our resident Colts fan, Jeff Steckel, and we're going to be getting into it today with I don't know, some speculation and a little bit of Lamar Jackson talk. So look, just do yourself a favor, do us a favor as well. Hit the like button. Let's have a like goal of like 10 likes on this hoe, and then hit the subscribe button because we're trying to hit 1,000. We're trying to grow, trying to get bigger, and the bigger we get, the better we can do stuff. So please help us with that, Jeff. Let's fucking get it. All right. So obviously, the Colts need a quarterback. I think we can all establish that that is a thing.
Oh yeah.
There's obviously one marquee name that his future's a little up in the air, we should say. And you know, if you moved on it, it'd be a pretty hefty price tag, and you'd have to move on for some draft capital. But Lamar Jackson has not signed his tag. He's requested a trade in March. Allegedly, there were people flying out to the Baltimore area from the Indianapolis Colts organization, or vice versa, and they're trying to figure out if Lamb Jack is actually an option.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Well, if you're the Colts, you're not in a position to be picky at this point. I don't think, and you have to look and do your due diligence with everybody, just like they did with the head coaching search. Took, after the Super Bowl, I think they knew who they wanted before, but they did a shitload of interviews, and I think that's kind of what they're doing here. They're not going to leave any stones unturned, I guess, but they know Lamar Jackson wants a big contract, and quarterbacks it's just the nature of the NFL. They're expensive. So I think it's that. Ursay even commented that it's not the money that's really the issue. It's that it's guaranteed is the problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't like guaranteed contracts. And after Watson, I could understand. Like, that deal was stupid. Just, we'll get into that later. But it was just dumb. And that's kind of what Lamar's looking for. And I get it. Like, he's done more than Watson. Like, I understand it. But he also has to understand it was a stupid deal. Like, Brown should have never done that. But would I say that Lamar's worth it over him? Well, yeah. And you could say, oh, we need to draft and build around it, but you never know with these quarterbacks if they're gonna hit. I mean, and Lamar Jackson, I think, is more of a proven entity.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely had success in the league already.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, he completes 60. I think last year where he was hurt, he completed like 63% of his passes career. He's over 64%. So. I mean, he's not as bad of a passer as people make him out to be. He just doesn't have the weapons. I don't think Baltimore surrounded him with a whole lot of talent.
Yeah. I mean, if he goes to Indianapolis, it's not like they can immediately surround him with all of the talent anyway. I mean, you got what? Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. You're going to give up 2 firsts, so you can't really draft a wide receiver in the first round of either of the next 2 drafts.
Well, they did give McKenzie to him.
Yeah.
I think he's an upgrade over Campbell.
Well, I'll give you that. But even still, Isaiah McKenzie's on his best day at number 2. And I think that the search for the number 1 in Indianapolis is still going on. Because Michael Pittman, while he's had some production, I don't think he's the number 1 guy going forward. So they're going to have to bring somebody in to challenge for that.
I hope Pierce makes some big stride because he's got the size and speed to be a 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to develop into that, but I mean, Pittman is he like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson? Hell no. But he's also had a lot of instability at quarterback. Like, he's ever since Phillip Rivers was probably one of his better years. He had Matt Ryan, who wouldn't throw more than 5 yards down the field. Carson Wentz, inaccurate as shit. Like, he didn't have a lot of good people throwing him the ball either, and he still, was pretty productive with how bad the quarterback play was. So I don't know if we've truly seen what Pittman can really do.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. Again, I don't know if he's up in that top tier, but he's certainly reliable. Probably, I mean, most likely a number two on most teams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if he is, a two on most teams, you can't necessarily just expect him to step up in that one role. So, I mean, regardless of anything, you're going to have to bring in somebody. Now, there's clearly some wide receivers in this draft class that you could get in the second round. Um, and, well, like probably Tillman, because Hyatt's projected to be a first. Um, I don't know. This kind of messes up my whole thing. If the Colts get Lamar, I'm going to be upset because I kind of want. I kind of feel like there's a realistic chance that the Colts go a different position than quarterback at 4 and draft Hendon Hooker later. I saw
Yeah,
something that you had said that on one of the Facebook pages.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I put that in one of the mock drafts I sent you too, where
Yeah.
they trade out of the 4 and they drop to like eight into the eight between 8 and 15. They kind of they drop back, pick up an extra second, maybe another mid late round pick for 2. But I think I did it straight up for the 9 spot and for a second round pick. And I think I took Quentin Johnston with that pick and went Hendon Hooker in the second. So,
Yeah.
so
There's
and
contingency.
I love the draft that I put there.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, if Lamb Jack doesn't find his way to Indianapolis, there's a plethora of quarterbacks who could find their way there. And I see a lot of Colts fans talking about how Gardner Minshew could be the guy. And I know Blake is somewhere
Blake thinks
just
he's
like,
gonna go. We're gonna go 15 to 2
yeah!
with him.
But
Best quarterback in the AFC South.
oh man, that would, you know how pissed Isaiah would be if that happened? If he was the best quarterback in the AFC South, he just
It'd
shows
be
up
amazing.
for you. Yeah, he'd be like, "Damn it, we let him walk."
We should have kept him.
Yeah. Uh,
I don't see that happening, but who knows?
yeah.
And that's one of those random Joe Flacco years.
Yeah. All right. So Irsay had some comments about Lamb Jack not wanting to spend the money. I think you already talked about that a little bit.
Guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money. Yes, he doesn't like the idea of guaranteed money, even though he's the owner of the NFL, an NFL team, and he's anyway.
Guaranteed money.
I mean, this man has guaranteed sets for his band. Anytime the Colts put on a thing, he can just be like, "All right, Jim Irsay band, show up." He just throws out like the bat signal, and his band shows up, and he's ready to play, as long as there's a case of whiskey nearby.
Yeah, got to show his collection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That man, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Jim Irsay where his entire face isn't like bloodshot red.
It's weird.
He just looks always like he's tanked.
I've seen videos where he's in the draft and it's the sentences that he puts together aren't that of like
Sober man.
mature old sober businessman. Like it's what's up, man? Like,
What's
what the fuck
up?
did you hit, dude? But yeah, that's just how he is. I don't know.
He'd just be sipping on that absinthe for like fucking 8 days. And he's like, man, there I was climbing Mount Vesuvius, and I start to fall. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And then I realize I've never even been to Mount Vesuvius.
I didn't even know that's a place.
It's probably not. For those who don't know, that was a Zoolander reference. But okay, all right. So Irsay's crazy, erratic, and drunk.
He hasn't really interfered much up until last season. It's I kind of get it.
He doesn't need to.
They should have pulled the plug on Reich after that embarrassing season-ending loss to Jacksonville. That should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
Like that's like he clearly lost the locker room at that point. Like they did not play in that game at all. So he went. He should have been fired already. It should have already happened. But once you went through the season, there really wasn't a point to firing him. It's not like it got better.
Yeah.
But
Speaking,
people just wish you kind of would have stayed out of it. But I'm like, he's not really an interfering GM either.
yeah,
He's
he's
just
not.
sick of getting. He hates losing to Tennessee, and that's all we've fucking done is lost to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
Well, you kind of mentioned it there. The loss to the Jags, and the Jags have definitely upped the ante lately and taken home that division crown. So the Colts, how do they improve enough this offseason from this point to be able to take down the Jags in this next season, 23-24?
by winning 10 games.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
uh, they need a quarterback, and that the line has to play to a pay grade. But I think Dychen, he knows how to call a much better offense than Reich did. I think he knows how to get his guards and tackles kind of out in space. He knows how to work with mobile quarterbacks, and that really covers up a lot of that can cover up mediocre line play. But they lost Gilmore, so they're gonna have to revamp their secondary. I think they're good up front. Leonard comes back healthy. That was a huge loss last year. He's a turnover machine. But they kept Buckner. They got Grover. They've announced that what's his name, Kenny Moore will stay. I don't know how well he fits into Bradley's defense, but still one of better slot corners out there. So
Yeah.
but we definitely need to revamp our secondary. Every time we play him, he comes out looking like frickin' Montana. So they got to get better in the secondary, and they gotta get pressure.
Do you think the Colts will have a better season regardless? Not better than Jags, but like just better than last season.
It's hard to get. I mean, you could get 4 games worse, but
Yeah.
I think no matter what they do, that they'll at least be a lot closer to 500. I mean, if they go over, I'd be very surprised. But I think that this team is really the one to look out for in like 2024. Like, I don't know if everything's going to have an immediate payoff
Yeah.
this season. If it does, fantastic. I mean, I'm definitely rooting for it, but it's going to take time. I mean, they've got so much money up front. I think this is kind of like that prove it year for that line. If they don't improve, they're going to have to bring in rookies. Rookies are not immediate impact typically as linemen.
Yeah.
So it'll take a year to build and practice. I hope Ryman continues to improve, and he got better every game last year. So it's hopefully the line is better, and if it is, I mean, I was even looking at Lamar Jackson's stats. I keep talking about him, but if we had that quarterback play, I think he was like 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and I think he rushed for another 3 or 4. I mean, that's average. I mean, not for the amount of games that he played, it was average stats. If we just had that, we probably are an 8-9 win team.
Yeah.
Just him doing that, we probably at least tie Jacksonville for the division. So if we just get average play from a quarterback with what we have, I think we'd be a lot better off.
All right, so let me run you through this one, okay? This is a 3-tiered question, okay? All right, so the Colts, let's just say the offseason comes and goes. They don't draft a quarterback. They roll with Gardner. Now they literally use all of their draft picks on making the rest of the team as good as possible, okay? So maybe they draft a guard, they draft a couple wide receivers, maybe a corner or two, or a safety or something, and maybe another middle linebacker to kind of complement Shaq. Do you think at that point that the Colts are capable of more than 4 wins with
I would think
Gardner
so,
at the helm?
because if it's Gardner at the helm, the offense would pretty much run through Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not. I don't think Gardner Minshew is like an idiot. I think he's more competent enough to handle an offense. He was with Steichen last year, so it's not like he has a lot to pick up. So
Yeah.
I think as long as he's not a turnover machine and just doesn't lose the game, Yeah, I think they could win more than 4 games.
How many games do you think he could win for the Colts? Are we talking like 6?
Probably.
Okay. Let's just say they get Lamar Jackson. What does that number increase to?
Well, consider. God damn, what is his record at? Like 45 and something over the last. I can't remember how many win losses he has, but I mean, with Lamar Jackson, I'd probably put him at 10 or 11. Honestly, I mean,
All right.
I feel like that makes them like contenders right off the bat to at least win the AFC South.
All right. Well, let's say that instead of Lamar Jackson and instead of rolling with Gardner, they draft one of the guys. They draft Will Levis. Is it somewhere between? Or is the floor 4 wins?
Man, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say with a rookie. I even think maybe with a rookie, Gardner probably still gets a few starts until they're comfortable with their guy coming in and running the offense. I still say it's probably about the same with Minshew, 5-6 wins somewhere in there.
Okay.
Just to, you never know how a rookie quarterback's going to pan out.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I think we're running out of
We'll stay
time.
undefeated.
That'd be cool. I think we're running out of time on this one, brother. So, do you have any closing comments?
Go Colts, man.
Okay. For the shoe, he says.
For the shoe.
Folks, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Trying to hit 10 like goal on this one. And Jeff, thanks for coming on, brother.
Sure, man.
And thank you guys for watching. Be good people.